Hello, my name is Rose, better known as Sammy's to my family. Rose Bristol, formerly Star, and that's the name of all my children. I live in Santa Barbara, California, and I'm here speaking to you from my home in the outdoors on a windy day. I was born in the Philippine Islands, and I was raised there and came to the U.S. when I was 22, and have lived here ever since. Went back once in between and had my family here. What made me move to the U.S. is, as a young girl, I always had dreamed of travel, and the opportunity came to me in the year 1960 when an aunt came to visit and wanted to bring me back with her. And my parents approved, and I was a little conflicted with do I or don't I? And it was only for a short time, a visa for 6 months, so I figured I could do that. And that's what made me come to the US. However, during that time, I met my knight in shining armor and ended up getting married, and that was the end of my going back for a while. And through that marriage, I have 4 beautiful children and 10 grandchildren and 3 now, wonderful great-grandsons. Well, yeah, that was interesting. I like the idea of being in a new country. I was, however, disappointed when I arrived in Los Angeles because my idea of the U.S. was like the New England states. And to this day, it's my favorite place. Vermont, New England, and California, the part of California where I lived, it was in Los Angeles, and it was not very exciting. Yes, I've changed my mind because now I've seen more and I've seen other states. You could say that when I was a teenager after the war, I was pretty spoiled because we had servants and maids, and I didn't have to do a thing. But I also learned a lot when I moved to the States. I had to do everything by myself and take care of my home, my family, my everything. And that was different. And once in a while, I still miss having someone to do it for me. It was common after the war. Remember now that we suffered World War II, and a lot of families suffered, including my own, my parents. And it wasn't until later that things picked up. It was common. I could say that, yes, probably even more so now that I'm gone. Things have changed. Oh, definitely struggling with my own physical health with that first childbirth or pregnancy, my oldest daughter, and that was the pattern that followed with the rest of my kids. But all together, it was well worth it. I had struggles because my second child did not live very long. I lost him at the age of 17 months, and it was a struggle because the babies to follow, I always had worries that something like that could happen again. But I prayed and held on to my faith, and so far I've been very blessed. The war was very traumatizing. I remember it well. I was 4 years old, and my memories go back, and there are a lot of negative memories I have, and it's put a lot of fear in me. To this day, I have some post-traumatic symptoms, I guess. Airplanes flying low, they scare me. Sirens, they scare me. They bring back those awful memories. And just thinking of war in other parts of the world is a big concern to me, and I just pray that my children and grandchildren never have to experience it. I remember my dad announcing to my mom that the Japanese had invaded Pearl Harbor. Very vividly, I remember that day, and I didn't know what it meant, but I know my mom was pretty hysterical, and my dad was just trying to lead us kids to Well, we didn't really have to run for safety at that point, but it wasn't long after that that they came to Manila, where we lived. And it was, our lives changed from that day on for the next 4 to 5 years. The number one big regret that I have is that I don't have the degree that I would have liked to have had. I did a lot of counseling in my work, but I don't have a master's, and that limited the kind of work I could get. And I guess that's a big regret. And another one is my music. I love music, and I played the piano for a while, but I had dropped out, and so those are regrets. So now I want to live my life in my children and grandchildren. The best memories I have are raising my children. The places that we've lived mean a lot to me. I hold them very close to my heart. Memories of how I raised them with things that are very important are faith and respect for authority, their parents and others, teachers. And those are just values that I'm hoping I accomplished and instilled in everyone I know. Well, it goes back to what I didn't accomplish myself. I didn't finish college, and I would like to advise all young people to take school very seriously. You need your skills. You need to have something tangible. But most of all, I want to give the advice of holding on to your dream, follow your dream, and always keep God in your lives. If I could say that, that to me is important. That to me is what has held me together like the glue in my life. Oh, my favorite way of spending the day is I have to have my music around me, whether I'm playing the piano or playing the piano that plays itself upstairs, or just listening to music while I go about my day. And I love to be outdoors on a nice day like I am today. And either that, or if I'm in Ventura, I want to be with my kids and grandkids. Well, I think this is a very unique and unusual, pleasurable moment for me, that I have this opportunity to voice some of my feelings and values and experiences in life. And hopefully, if somebody gets motivated to hear my words, that it would somehow be a little powerful.